Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, look, I even got a response. It's Andrew and Enid. Thanks to so many of you for showing up. We have a nice sized crowd here, and it's continuing to grow. This is wonderful. My name is Steve Rashid. Welcome to the, what is it, June 5th? Holy moly, it's June already? Welcome to the... Yeah. Welcome to the June 5th edition of Live at the Whiskey Lounge. I am your host for the evening. I conceived this series back in March. I walked in here one day and thought this would be a perfect spot for a series such as this, and the wonderful management here was nice enough to give it a shot. So here we are. We're here for an indefinite length of time. Not this evening. We'll eventually wrap this up, but we will be here every week as long as they don't kick us out. We're having a ball, and thanks to you all for supporting live music here in Evanston. Just a few quick words about what the series is, how the evening progresses, and then I'll get out of the way and make way for the real entertainment for the evening. As I said, this is a weekly series. It focuses on, the whole idea is to try to make a house concert in a club. So the idea is you can get right up close, like these three tables right up here where no one's sitting. You can get as close as you like, right up close to the artist. It's a nice, intimate conversation between just a couple of, usually duets and trios is what we have here, and we have a wonderful duet for you this evening. That's always been one of my favorite kinds of musical ensembles, these small ensembles. I like to think of it as small music but big ideas. And every week is a slightly different thing. We have, tonight, as I said, we have this wonderful duet that I will tell you about in a minute. Last week we had the Fat Babies, which was a jazz group from the 1920s. They aren't actually from the 20s, but they play music from the 20s. We've had gypsy jazz. We've had some other kinds of string jazz. The wonderful Judy Roberts will be here next week. She's a jazz legend here in Chicago and lived here for many years and now lives in Phoenix. Comes back in the spring and summer months. And we are very lucky to have her in between her times at the Jazz Showcase and at Andy's and some of the other jazz institutions here in town. We've got her for 2 Thursdays. We've had her a couple weeks ago, and now she's coming back again next Thursday. So with her husband, Greg Fishman, who is a fantastic saxophone player. So like I say, it's something a little bit different every week. We hope that you come and join us again, see some familiar faces. Thanks for coming back, and for those of you here for the first time, welcome. Coming up in the next week, like I said, Judy Roberts, Greg Fishman. After that, we've got Paulinho Garcia, who is a wonderful Brazilian artist. He's just incredible. You'd swear it's 1964, and you're in Rio somewhere. And after that, we've got Alfonso Ponticelli, which is a gypsy jazz thing. So, as you can tell, it goes on, and it's quite different every week. This, like I said, this is like a house concert in a club. So with that, you don't seem like an unruly crowd. But I do always say this every week. We try to hold talking a little bit to a minimum here. Certainly feel free to talk to your neighbors near you, but try to be respectful of the musicians and the other people around you who are here specifically to listen. And you notice a handful of microphones up here, and that's because we do a live recording every week. Live multi-track recording as if this were a studio recording, but we do it here in front of you, and we do a live internet stream. So if there are weeks that you can't be here, you are welcome to stream us live online right from your computer and be virtually here. Pour yourself a glass of wine and pretend you're here with all of us having a really good time. So with that, I'm going to get out of the way. Let me tell you just a second about who's coming up. This is Petra Van Nuis and Andy Brown, who are some of my dear, dear friends. They helped sculpt this series as I was putting it together. I relied on their expertise early on, asked them a lot of questions. They not only, Petra has, well, I'm not going to try to describe how wonderful they are. You're going to hear it in a second. But Petra not only has a wonderful voice, Andy not only is a great guitarist, but they are also husband and wife. So I'm going to get up a little bit later and speak with them. We'll have a little bit of give and take with them later on. But for now, let's open it up for Andy and Petra. Thanks so much, folks.
Thank you so very much, and we're thrilled to be here. This is the greatest new thing to be happening in Chicagoland as far as musicians are concerned, so we're happy that you're all here at the ground level. We're going to start, since it is June, we were just reminded of that. We're going to start with a Hoagie Carmichael tune called Memphis in June. Wrong city, right month. Memphis in June, a shady veranda under a Sunday blue sky. Memphis in June, and cousin Amanda's making a rhubarb pie. I can hear the clock inside ticking and talking, everything is peacefully dandy, and I can see old Granny just a-sitting there rocking, watching the neighbors go by. Memphis in June, sweet oleander blowing perfume in the air. Up jumps a moon to make it that much grander. It's paradise, won't you take my advice? Nothing's half as nice as Memphis in June. Memphis in June, a shady veranda under a Sunday blue sky. Memphis in June, and cousin Amanda's making a rhubarb pie. I can hear the clock inside, it's a ticking and a talking, everything is peacefully dandy, and I can see old Granny just a-sitting there and rocking, watching the neighbors go by. Memphis in June, sweet oleander blowing perfume in the air. Up jumps the moon to make it that much grander. It's paradise, won't you take my advice? Nothing's half as nice as Memphis in June. Thank you. Right now I'm thinking of summer songs. This is how my brain works. Everything must lead to the next. So this next tune is one that Billie Holiday introduced, and people have done it after, but that's the definitive version, Billie Holiday's, and this is called A Sailboat in the Moonlight and You. This is a definite summer song, and the line is, "The things dear that I long for are few. Just give me a sailboat in the moonlight and you. I'm rather a simple girl, just a sailboat for me."
I'd like to see you in a sailboat.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to see me in a sailboat too. That is a scary thought. We watched Jaws last night, so seriously. Wow. Gee. A sailboat in the moonlight and you. Wouldn't that be heaven? A heaven just for two. A soft breeze on a June night and you. What a perfect setting for letting dreams come true. A chance to sail away to Sweetheart's Bay beneath the stars that shine. Chance to drift for you to lift your tender lips to mine. You know the things, dear, that I long for are few. Just give me a sailboat, give me some moonlight, and give me you. Thank you so much. We'd like to do another summery song. This is a beautiful song, and people always say, "What's your favorite song?" And that's such a tough question, because I love so many songs. I know so many. I have a list of so many more that I want to learn, and it's never ending. There's so many beautiful songs out there, but I would say that this song always remains in the top at least 5, if not maybe 3, if not my favorite. This is called The Shining Sea, and this is a beautiful song with lyrics by the great Peggy Lee and music by Johnny Mandel. Can't go wrong there. We loved the shining sea. He gathered seashells there for me, his hands. I love his hands. there on the sand. He'd kiss the hollow of my hand, his kiss. I miss his kiss. I hear the gray gulls cry. I watch them dip their wings. I feel the pounding surf and other things. I can't believe he's gone. I think I'll go where he might be. I'll go. I need him so. I need our shining sea. We loved our shining sea. He gathered seashells there for me, his hands. I love his hands. We'd sit there on the sand. He'd kiss the hollow of my hand, his kiss. I miss his kiss. I hear the gray gulls cry. I watch them dip their wings. I feel the pounding surf and other things. I can't believe he's gone. sea. Thank you. Thank you.
Careful, folks, they gave the guitar player a microphone. What's he going to do? What's he going to say?
Tell us about your guitar.
Tell us about your guitar. They don't want to hear about that. Maybe later. You do? Really? Wow. Where did you people come from? I try to get her interested all the time. I'm like, close your eyes. Which one do you like better? This guitar, since you asked, is a Gibson guitar made in Kalamazoo, Michigan. They used to have the Gibson plant there. And it's actually an artist's model, a very famous, or he was famous years ago, one of my favorite jazz guitarists named to.for. And this is his model. They gave to.for a model. Gibson made it for a few years in the mid-1960s. So they only made 217 total of this model.
See, that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting.
And some guy who he got the guitar from, well, I don't know, back in some years, carved his name into the back of it.
Yeah, when we take a break,
kind of unfortunate.
for those that want to see and do a little show and tell, there's like a whole name carved in the back of the headstock here. Anyway, Gibson to.for model guitar.
How many guitars do you
Good question.
I don't have that many. I sold some recently. But, I mean, I have maybe 5 or 6, different, acoustics and more electrified guitar. I mean, sort of the guitar, maybe more than a lot of other instruments, there's many different kinds. I mean, there's the Stratocaster, Telecaster type solid body, rock and roll guitar. There's the classical nylon string. Petra's like, we're losing him. It's true. I know. See, Bea, I got to be careful, right? We'll talk later. You're right. Anyway, we're going to do a song right now. It's a great old tune. It's got a good message. We always like to do this one. It's called Save Your Sorrow for Tomorrow.
From the 20s. Chunky dog. Yeah, this is a total chunk. Come on.
I will now use a guitar pick for the first time tonight. Hopefully I won't drop it.
Save your sorrow for tomorrow. Smile a while today. Work is play to anyone who hums. Live today, tomorrow never comes. If you cheer up, skies will clear up, clouds will pass away. Save your sorrow for tomorrow. Smile a while today. Save your sorrow for tomorrow. Smile a while today. Work is play to anyone who hums. right. Well, this place is so nice and quaint, and we were just talking about this. There's so few places that you can go where it's nice, just pretty and warm and inviting and sophisticated. This setting kind of reminds us a little bit of something that in our minds, I mean, it might not be this way anymore, but in your mind of what you would think it would be like in Paris. And we do have someone who visits Paris very often here. And you can tell us if this is true. But it's better here. Oh, good. Well, what a relief. Well, this is a song that we heard done by one of our favorite singers and guitar players who at the time, they were an item. It was a singer named Beverly Kenny who used to spend some time here in Chicago. She used to come here in the 1950s and play around town at places like Mr. Kelly's. And for a while, she was involved with the guitarist Johnny Smith, and they released an album, Beverly Kenny Sings for Johnny Smith. So naturally, we like that, being the guitar voice duo that we are. And there's a great song on this album that I just fell in love with. And this is called This Little Town is Paris. This little town is Paris. Now that I'm here with you, each little bench is amazingly French, and the trees Parisian too. This little town is Paris. Now that I know you're mine, even the air is a foreign affair, and the coffee tastes like wine. The world I found around me wasn't good when I stood there alone, but now at last you found me, and you grace every space that I have known. This little town is Paris. Somehow it's come to be, gay and aglow, and there's one place I know I won't have to go to see, for you bring Paris here to me. Wasn't good when I stood there alone, but now at last you found me, and you grace every space that I have known. be gay and aglow. And there's one place I know I won't have to go to see, for you bring Paris, you bring Paris, you bring Paris here to me. Thank you. Thank you. G flat. Thank you very much. Speaking of our flight attendant friend, we're going to do a Frank Sinatra hit with a little bit of a twist. Come fly with me.
What's the twist?
The twist is that we're not going to swing it. We're going to up-tempo samba it. Where's Rusty Jones when you need him? If anyone knows the drummer in town, Rusty Jones. This guy loves an up-tempo samba. If only he were here, he'd go crazy on this one. Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Llama Land, there's a one-man band and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide so starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. You may hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together weather-wise. Such a lovely day. Just say the word and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Come fly with me, let's float down to Peru. In Llama Land, there's a one-man band and he'll toot his flute for you. Come fly with me, let's take off in the blue. Once I get you up there, where the air is rarefied, we'll just glide so starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, I'll be holding you so near. And you may hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together weather-wise. Such a lovely day. Just say the word and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly. Come fly with me, let's let's fly. Come fly with me, let's fly away, away, away. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to stick with our travel/Paris theme since it's going so well. We're going to do a movie theme song. This may bring back some memories, some good, some traumatizing. It's okay, that's what we're here for. This movie theme was written by a man named Gato Barbieri, and he wrote the theme to this movie, The Last Tango in Paris.
Some disturbing memories. Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris. We don't exist, we are nothing but shadow and mist. In the mirror we look as we pass, no reflection revealed in the glass. Don't you know that the blood in your vein is as lifeless as yesterday's rain? It's a game where we come to conceal the confusion we feel. As long as we're nameless, our bodies are blameless. You cried when we kissed, it was nothing but shadow and mist. Two illusions who touch in a trance, making love not by choice but by chance, to a theme that we tore from the past, to a tango we thought was our last. We are shadows of dance. Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris. Last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris. We don't exist, we are nothing but shadow and mist. In the mirror we look as we pass, no reflection revealed in the glass. Don't you know that the blood in your vein is as lifeless as yesterday's rain? It's a game where we come to conceal the confusion we feel. As long as we're nameless, our bodies are blameless. You cried when we kissed. It was nothing but shadow and mist. Two illusions who touch in a trance, making love not by choice but by chance, to a theme that we tore from the past, to a tango we thought was our last. We are shadows of dance. Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris, Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris, last tango in Paris. Thank you very much. In case you were wondering, those great lyrics, those poetic lyrics were written by Andre Previn's, one of his wives, Dory Previn. And at this time, speaking of husbands and wives, I'm going to have Andy Brown, my husband, play a little tune for you.
I brought a list.
I have one too.
Are these guys charming or what? Gee, first. I'm going to sneak in and talk to these guys for a while.
Come on in.
By the way, I told you that we do a live streaming. It isn't a slight... Oh, it actually is frozen. Ha. Hold on.
My solo piece froze the computer.
That's what it looks like. I don't know if you can see from there. But it actually looks beautiful. And you can see that... Those are all the right notes. And now you're all applauding. You can see you all applauding. Thank you. So every week I like to get up here and just chat for a little bit with everybody, with the performers. And I'm thrilled that people have felt comfortable just kind of asking questions as they come up, because that's sort of what I'm hoping this series becomes, is sort of this, you are a part of the performance as well. So thank you for feeling comfortable doing that. But how many people were here when was it? At very beginning of April that you guys were here?
I can't remember the exact date.
It was either the end of March or early April when Andy and Petra were here before. I assume you've had other gigs since then.
No, we left our stuff here.
But was anybody here that night? Oh, a handful. All right, great. So not everybody's have heard all the stories that I was probably going to ask you again.
Fresh meat, though. Look at all these
Yeah, as they say, it's easier to find a new audience than a new material.
That's a good one.
So just because it's such a great story, would you mind just telling really quickly how you guys met? Because I think it's the greatest story ever.
You got it.
Go.
Okay, here I go.
All right, go, Andy.
We met in junior year of high school American history class.
How about
So
that?
That's where we met. I was a new student at the high school, and it was actually a performing arts high school. It was in Cincinnati. They have a school for creative and performing arts, and Petra had been going there since she was like in the 5th grade, 10 years old, and basically I had just moved there from upstate New York, and I was like the first new guy to go to this school in like 8 years. Everybody had been going there forever, so
You can imagine all the girls.
so that's how I ended up with
wanted Andy.
Petra.
I really did. I had to fight them off physically.
She did.
Wow.
It was a cat fight.
I won.
So that's how we met.
Oh, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
And did you date immediately?
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
there's like, you heard of like star-crossed lovers or something like that. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't really, we're not very, I don't know, superstitious or, I don't know. But with that kind of thing, it did seem like we hit it off. It's some kind of soulmate or some kind of, you can psychoanalyze it, like our backgrounds, and we had a lot in common and all that. But yeah, we just, from right away, hit it off.
Wow. I love that story, and I love that this is a constant collaboration musically between you. I also know that you also, and I'll give you a chance to sort of plug other stuff you're doing, because you both perform not only as a duet and and other ensembles with each other, but with other things apart from each other, right?
Right.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I don't think we talked much about that last time. So what else? And I want to also talk to you about what's happening in August. Here.
Oh,
But before we do that, talk a little, each of you, about what you do outside of performing with each other.
Well, we really enjoy playing together, but we also love playing with other people. It's just, first of all, good experience. Anytime you play with anybody else and you learn things and you bring those things back to what we do together. But I play a lot with a couple different piano players, a great guy named Larry Harris,
Yeah,
and a
fantastic
wonderful
player.
pianist named Dennis Luxon I play with a lot, and Judy Roberts. Sometimes when she's back in town, I'll play with her. And then I also have a 7-piece band called the Recession 7, which is me and Andy, Joe Policastro on the bass, Bob Rummage on the drums, and then Russ Phillips on the trombone, Kim Cusack on the clarinet, and Bob Ojeda on the trumpet. And that's more of like a 20s, 30s type music. So that
And
song,
that's-
Save Your Sorrow, was kind of like some of the repertoire we do with that band.
By the way, that was kind of like the A-list of all the great, players in that ilk
Yeah.
in Chicago. I mean, that's really an all-star lineup.
It's a smoking band, and it's easy for me because that's like, this is so exposed, when we just do a duo, especially with a guitar for a singer, it's very, sparse. But with the 7-piece band, it's like, I don't have to do anything. Just let these guys play.
Yeah.
So that's really great. And we play sometimes with the two of us with just a bass and drums also, so like a quartet.
Mm-hmm.
So just whatever the job kind of calls for, basically.
Right, it expands and contracts to the need.
Exactly.
Last week when we had the Fat Babies here, the Fat Babies plays typically often, I think every Tuesday at the Green Mill, and they're like a 7 or 8 piece band.
Right.
I talked to them about coming in with a smaller group here, just because that's sort of the focus here, are these small ensembles, and they came in with a quartet. And that was really fun to just kind of hear the same music but in a slightly different
Yeah.
context. So
It's
yeah,
interesting,
this music but with a 7-piece would be a totally different experience.
It
and
is
how
totally
cool is that?
different. It's interesting.
Yeah, and I mean when you play in a duet, there's more interaction too. I mean there's more chances for disaster. but
Right.
there's also
It's a tightrope. I mean, and by the way, what Andy's doing on the guitar is physically impossible. So, I mean, if there are any guitarists in the audience,
well, I mean, what Petra's doing is physically impossible too. I mean,
don't think
I play with a lot of really great singers, and maybe I'm biased or whatever, but Petra, the ability to get the exact intonation, to be
Mhm.
able to phrase and just, I don't know, not a lot of singers really anywhere can do that, where there's just the guitar. I mean, that's why we've been able to work together so well, where there, most singers wouldn't dare do.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I play with a lot of great singers, and but some really great singers I've known, they won't do it. I mean, they want at the bare minimum the 88 keys of a piano. They're not going to go to a room full of strangers and sing their heart out with just this little 6-string guitar. So it takes a certain type of singer. I mean, when there's not a lot of vocal histrionics or
right.
melismas, or I know we all love to watch like American Idol and stuff, and I don't either. I've never watched it, but I mean, all
Some
that
people
stuff
do.
for singing has been so interesting because I mean they've sort of beat it into people that good singing, quote unquote, is like lots of swoops and hollers, but to just deliver the song
Yeah.
with the emotion of the lyric and the intonation and musicality, actually, I think that is physically impossible. So how do you do it, Petra? Tell us.
Well, and it's as much telling a story as it is singing a song, and that's what I love. One of the things I love about your singing is that we really do get, who it is that's singing the song.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, there's so many great songs. I mean, Petra has an encyclopedic brain when it comes to song lyrics and tunes. I mean, every accompanist, pianist, and guitarist in town is blown away by her range and her repertoire. I mean, people go home crying after they do a gig with her because she knows so many tunes, and so many things, and so many tunes that maybe she's never even sang once, but she's heard it many. She just stores it in her brain. So.
By the way, and Andy can attest to this too, that is literally all I have in my brain, and he knows this to be true.
Well, I do
can't
keep telling you to turn your signal when you turn
but
right.
lyrics. It's really weird. I don't know. It's the only thing I can remember.
It's true. Like I have said, like make sure you turn your signal on when you turn lanes, like maybe 20,000 times in my life. It's okay.
Andy, what other gigs you doing? What other kinds of things?
Well, I'm lucky to have a pretty versatile program right now of gigs. I mean, I play with my own quartet every Wednesday at Andy's Jazz Club downtown. I play every Tuesday evening solo guitar at a place called Broadway Cellars, which is in Edgewater. Petra and I play just down the street at Pete Miller's here in Evanston every Sunday. And then I have a sort of ongoing collaboration with one of the world's best jazz guitarist. I'm lucky to know and be friends with a guy named Howard Alden, who lives in New York City. He's been there for about 30 years. He made a little bit of a name with the public when he did the guitar playing for the Woody Allen movie Sweet and Lowdown, which starred Sean Penn. And this friend of mine did all the guitar music, did all the guitar playing for it. But he's been playing with the greatest jazz musicians on the planet since he moved to New York when he was like 20 years old, like 30 years ago.
And that's a nice segue into what's happening in late August.
Right. He and I we have a new CD out on the Delmark label here in town, and we've been playing at the Green Mill once a year for about 5 years. But this year we got a slot at the Chicago Jazz Festival, which is over Labor Day weekend, August 29th, and he's going to be here. So the night before, that's a Friday afternoon, we're playing the night before, Howard's going to come here to the Whiskey Lounge.
So we're going to be able to see Howard Alden and Andy here at the Whiskey Lounge on August 28th, Thursday the 28th.
That'll be
So
fun.
if you're a fan of jazz guitar,
You can watch me get paid to take a guitar lesson.
Yeah. And Howard, he's truly a monster. I mean,
Yeah.
it's like, it's almost sick.
He's one of the greats of all time.
It's like he studied since he was like a little kid. He started with the banjo, and we have some recordings of him when he's a small child. Like, I mean,
Really?
Yeah, he was a
he's
prodigy.
just insane. It's just he learned all this
It's
early
fantastic.
oh, fantastic. Well, you guys want to do like maybe one more tune, and then and then we'll take a break, and then yeah, sure, you want to do that?
Unless anybody has any questions.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Any
Oh,
questions?
yeah.
Any
for the
questions
band?
from the audience?
We might not have answered everything.
Yeah.
Bea?
Okay. Really?
It's silent.
Nothing
First
at
of all,
Oh.
I think we should give Bea though an award for
Why?
the best, because she's the best laugher in the audience. Like
She is, she
she
is.
gets everything and she laughs.
Yeah, right.
So how about it for Bea, who's
Yeah,
very
she's
fun-loving
best
and loves to
laugher.
laugh.
That's why I love to have her in my life. That's right.
You can hear her laugh. Yeah,
Right, there she is.
I love that.
Ah,
I
there
love
she
that
is.
about Bea. That's
So if you're
great.
looking for me and I'm sitting with her, just wait till you hear her laugh. So while you were doing your solo piece, we were talking about. I happen to have this in my pocket. So we're, so we're talking about maybe doing something. Is that all right? Yeah, that's great. All right. So it's in the key of A.
We're gonna do G baby in the key of A.
So let me put us on the stand.
Oh, do you need that? Oh yeah. A G baby in the key of A. First chord F sharp. I knew that. You're impressed.
So here's something I've wanted to do for quite a while. Go for it.
Yeah, here we go.
Love makes me treat you the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? There is nothing that's too good for a guy so good and true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Well, I bought you a fur coat for Christmas and a diamond ring, big Cadillac car, and everything. Oh, love makes me treat you just the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? treat you just the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Well, there's nothing that's too good for a guy so true. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Well, I bought you a wristwatch for Christmas and a diamond ring, big Cadillac car, and ain't that everything? Oh, love makes me treat you just the way that I do. Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Gee, baby, ain't I good to you? Oh, gee, baby, ain't I good to you?
All right. We'll be back after a short break. Thank you.
Then we gotta do everything in the Q&A now. You have to join the duo.
like relax my. I know I was crying. I was sad. I got an island in the Pacific. Do. Copper comes from Arizona. I'm gonna do a couple cute ones. I hate to say it, because they. Uh-oh.
We're back. We're back. Thank you. Thank you at the bar. I know who to call when I'm moving. Trust me. Woo. Okay, folks, we're back. We're going to do a song for you right now that was on the airwaves in the 1950s. And if we can get in our time machines and go back to 1950, whatever, when this song was on the radio, it was banned from the radio because of the risque lyrics. I know that will seem very quaint when we think of the risque lyrics that we hear today, but this is a tune that a great singer that we enjoy listening to named Jerry Southern had a hit with back in the 50s. It's called An Occasional Man.
We're doing this. Don't like 'cause I got an island in the Pacific, and everything about it is terrific. I got the sun to tan me, palms to fan me, and an occasional man. I love my island, it's very lazy. If I should ever leave it, I'd be crazy. I got papayas, peaches, sandy beaches, and an occasional man. When I go swimming, I am always dressed in style, 'cause I go swimming wearing just a great big smile. My little island was made for pleasure, and in the cool of evening it's a treasure. And when the hour grows later, what is greater than an occasional man? If you're on shore leave and your face is kind of cute, perhaps by your leave I can be your passion fruit. My little island is such a beauty, you may forget to heed the call of duty. But if you give the slip to your ship, miss your trip, take a tip and blame an occasional dame, an occasional dame, an occasional dame. Yeah, thank you. My, how times have changed. Banned from the airwaves, hard to imagine. Want to swing that music? E flat. Andy's getting out his pick again. We're going to do a tune. This is a tune, I believe, from the 1920s. Louis Armstrong and many other greats played this. This is called, appropriately, Swing That Music. Yeah, no. One, I think. gets a chill. I feel such a thrill. My feet won't keep still when they swing that music. Rhythm like that puts me in a trance. You can't blame me for wanting to dance. From what I understand, it must be just grand. Sing in a band when they swing that music. I'm just as happy as I can be when they swing that music for me. Such a thrill, my feet won't keep still when they swing that music. Rhythm like that puts me in a trance. You can't blame me for wanting to dance. From what I understand, it must be just grand. Sing in a band when they swing that music. I'm just as happy as I can be when they swing that music. Swing that music, swing that music for me. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. We like to do a tune now with great lyrics by a lyricist that every singer loves, Johnny Mercer. And Johnny Mercer took this French song. Here we are doing more French things. And he put lyrics to it. This is called When the World Was Young. It's a song in two parts, kind of about someone who's achieved everything in the world, all the fame and fortune, but then they kind of reflect back to the old days when things were a little simpler. They call me coquette and mademoiselle, and I must admit I like it quite well. It's something to be the darling of all, la grande femme fatale, the belle of the ball. There's nothing as gay as life in Paris. There's no other person I'd rather be. I love what I do, and I love what I see. But where is that schoolgirl that used to be me? Ah, the apple trees, blossoms in the breeze that we walked among, lying in the hay, games we used to play while the rounds were sung. Only yesterday, when the world was young. Wherever I go, they mention my name, and that in itself is some sort of fame. Come by for a drink, we're having a game. Wherever I go, they're glad that I came. The talk is quite gay, the company fine. There's laughter and lights and glamour and wine and beautiful men, and some of them mine. But often my eyes see a different shine. Ah, the apple trees, sunlit memories, where the hammock swung. On our backs we lie, gazing at the sky, while the stars were strung. Only last July, when the world was young. Thank you. Thank you. Rhode Island? You got it. Announce this thing.
We're going to do a song right now. We've told you about Petra's world-renowned memory when it comes to retaining lyrics.
That's why I have these lyric sheets.
She's going to do a really fun song that we like to do that comes from a musical. What was the musical called?
Around the USA or something.
Around the Inside the USA. But this is a fun tune that one of our favorite singers, the great Blossom Dearie, used to do. This is called Rhode Island is Famous for You.
They're already laughing. They're an easy crowd.
Copper comes from Arizona, peaches come from Georgia, lobsters come from Maine. The wheat fields are the sweet fields of Nebraska, and Kansas gets bananas from the grain. Old whiskey comes from old Kentucky, ain't the country lucky? And New Jersey gives us glue, and you come from Rhode Island, little old Rhode Island is famous for you. Cotton comes from Louisiana, gophers from Montana, spuds from Idaho. They plow lands in the cowlands of Missouri, where most beef meant for roast beef seems to grow. Grand Canyons come from Colorado, gold comes from Nevada, divorce is also due. And you come from Rhode Island, little old Rhode Island is famous for you. Pennsylvania, vests from West Virginia, tents from Tennessee. They know mink where they grow mink in Wyoming. A camp chair from New Hampshire, that's for me. And minnows come from Minnesota, coats come from Dakota. But why should you be blue when you come from Rhode Island? Don't let them ride Rhode Island, it's famous for you. You come from Rhode Island, don't let them ride Rhode Island, it's famous for you. Thank you. Yeah. What? Oh my God, I didn't even ask. This is the first time. I ask every time. I say, is anyone here from Rhode Island? And no one ever is. I didn't even believe anymore that it was a real place. Oh my God. Really?
That's right.
Rhode Island. Wow. Rhode Island. One more time. How about it? Do you happen to know what the population of Rhode Island is? 10. Wow, that's amazing. Well, that's for you. I only wish I knew. Wow.
We're going to do, you mentioned the sailboat song. That was a Billie Holiday tune, A Sailboat in the Moonlight, that we did last set. And we're going to do another song associated with the great Billie Holiday. This one's a little more well-known. It's called Good Morning, Heartache.
Here we go.
Good morning, heartache, you old gloomy sight. Good morning, heartache, thought we said goodbye last night. I turned and tossed until it seemed you had gone, but here you are with the dawn. Thought I'd forget you, but you're here to stay. It seems I met you when my love went away. Now every day I start by saying to you, good morning, heartache, what's new? Stop haunting me now. Can't shake you no how. Just leave me alone. I've got those Monday blues straight through to Sunday blues. Good morning, heartache, here we go again. Good morning, heartache, you're the one who knew me when. Might as well get used to you hanging around. Good morning, heartache, sit down. those Monday blues, the straight through to Sunday blues. Good morning, heartache, here we go again. Good morning, heartache, you're the one who knew me when I might as well get used to you hanging around. Good morning, heartache. Sit down. Thank you. My heart belongs. Do you want to play that?
Now, careful what you wish for. We could do Paris songs all night. So many great tunes have been written about Paris, but we're going to do one by special request. One that caused the singer to blow her nose. That's good. Must be. Okay.
As we discovered earlier, I have West Niles virus, so
We're going to do.
You got to stay out of Niles. You might get West Niles virus. Steve actually coined it. I can't claim responsibility.
We're going to do.
It's the risk you take.
It is the risk you take. Living on the edge of Niles. We're going to do April in Paris.
How do you want to do this? Swing it? G flat. April in Paris. April in Paris, chestnuts in blossom, holiday tables under the trees. April in Paris, this is a feeling and no one can ever reprise. I never knew the charm of spring, never met it face to face. I never knew my heart could sing, never missed a warm embrace till April in Paris. This is a feeling. What have you done to my heart? April in Paris, chestnuts in blossom, holiday tables under the trees. April in Paris, this is a feeling no one can ever reprise. I never knew the charm of spring, never met it face to face. I never knew Thank you. Thank you. We'd like to do a beautiful tune written by the great Kurt Weill with lyrics by poet Ogden Nash. And I think these are very poignant lyrics. This is one of my favorite songs for that reason. This is called Speak Low. Speak low when you speak love. Our summer day withers away too soon, too soon. Speak low when you speak love. Our moment is swift, like ships adrift, we're swept apart too soon. Speak low, darling, speak low. Love is a spark lost in the dark. Too soon, too soon. I feel wherever I go that tomorrow is near, tomorrow is here, and always too soon. Time is so old and love so brief. Love is pure gold and time a thief. We're late, darling, we're late. The curtain descends, everything ends. Too soon, too soon. I wait. Oh, my darling, I wait for you. Will you speak low to me? Speak love to me and soon. Time is so old and love so brief. Love is pure gold and time a thief. We're late, darling, we're late. The curtain descends, everything ends. Too soon, too soon. I wait. Oh, my darling, I wait for you. Will you speak low to me and love to me? Low to me and love to speak loud, speak soon. Thank you. Big one. Or am I hard to long? Switch one? All right. We're going to end this fun time we've had here with one more tune associated with the great Billie Holiday, one of my favorite singers and one of many people's. And this is called Ooh, Ooh, Ooh. There's more, but we'll start with that. Just whatever a crazy tempo you come up with. Ooh, 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 what little moonlight can do. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, ooh, what little moonlight can do to you. You're in love, your heart's a flutter, and all day long you only stutter 'cause your poor tongue just will not utter the words I love you. Ooh, ooh, what little moonlight can do. Ooh, ooh. Wait a while till a little moonbeam comes peeping through. You'll get bold, you can't resist him, and all you'll say when you have kissed him is ooh, 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 ooh. That's Andy Brown. Ooh, 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 what a little moonlight can do. Ooh, ooh. Ooh, what a little moonlight can do to you. You're in love, your heart's a flutter, and all day long you only stutter 'cause your poor tongue just will not utter the words I love you. Ooh, ooh, what a little moonlight can do. Ooh, ooh. Wait a while till a little moonbeam comes peeping through. You'll get bold, you can't resist him, and all you'll say when you have kissed him is ooh, what a little moonlight can do. Thank you. That's Andy Brown. That's Steve Rashid. Thank you so much.
Thanks. How about one more time for Andy Brown and Petra Van Nuis?
Thank you.
Are they great or what? We're so glad to have them back. I'm sure you're here with your friends, your spouses. Maybe your spouses are your friends. I hope so. And I am very lucky to be here with these good friends. I
Thank
couldn't
you,
be
Steve.
happier than to have these guys here. So thanks so much for coming, guys. Really, really great. Next week again, Judy Roberts, the great Judy Roberts, will be here with her husband, Greg Fishman. As we continue the husband and wife duet series. The week after that, Bea and I will be here. I'll be I'll be playing, and she'll be. I'm not sure what. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
So every year for the last 3 years at this place, Katarina's, we've been doing a night when Judy's back in town. It's Judy and Greg, Petra and I, and the great Russ Phillips and his wife Jeannie
No
Lambert.
kidding.
And we
How
do
cool
it,
is
and
that?
we call ourselves the Swingers. Husband and wives who
That's very
play
good.
together.
Very good. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Very nice.
So
When is that
you should
happening?
get that. Well, I don't know. Katarina's is
Yeah.
closing, so maybe we'll do it here, Steve.
Good.
Yeah,
Do some swinging.
Tell me when you
swingers.
want to do it, and we'll do it here. I'd love to. So thanks again, folks. Thanks for coming.
Thank
Take
you so
those little those cards that are on your table. Take them with you. There's my email address on the back if you want to get on our emailing list. If you're not already on my list, grab that. Send me an email, and I'll put you on the list, and you'll get an update. I won't beat you up with it, but once a week I'll send a little reminder of what's coming up. Thanks again.
Thank you, everyone. One quick thing, too, I always forget, I'm not good at this selling stuff, but we do have some CDs up here if you're interested. And if you'd like to join our email list, too, we'd be happy to take your information. So thank you so much.